Just clean up.
Still no, I guess in terms of him returning this season, no better idea than
Christian, no, not right now.
yeah.
I mean, again, I guess just rehab, see how that goes, but nothing. And this is actually our first day of practice since we've been back, so
Right.
I mean, he will not practice.
Okay.
Did Jordan do something specifically to make his ankle worse, or was just the wear of Colorado?
Well, he actually sprained it against UCLA
Right.
at the end of the half, the tip. That's when he sprained it. But you saw it if you watched the Colorado game. He had a slight limp to him, but he was able to make some shots, and we tried to get him in as much as possible, get him in and out. I think in the Utah trip, he had a slight limp to him in practice, and I just think it took a toll.
Was that why on some of those threes he passed off instead of really getting up and launching us because he couldn't?
I would imagine so, yeah.
We've talked about quite a bit this year that, in terms of depth and maybe tools you have are limited. Two guys hurt, what kind of impact does that have on the team?
Well, I think the most important thing is for the next guys to be ready, and that's our job as a coaching staff, to always have guys off the bench to be ready to play. And I think Brandon Chaka showed that a guy hadn't played a lot and stepped in. I thought he gave us big minutes against Utah. And just to prep, when your number's called, be ready to go. I think more so in the Utah game was the foul trouble of not getting to a real flow. You had a rhythm going, and key guys getting foul trouble, then other guys have to play more minutes than expected. That's when it becomes tough, especially against a talented team on their home floor. But just the next guy be ready to play.
Not having, at one point in the fourth, or in the latter half of the second half, you had four guys with 4 fouls, and there were 45 some odd average points over the previous 5 games that were unavailable to you. How does that have to make the bench grow up a little quicker?
I think in that particular case, in watching that game, I don't know so much what the bench has to do or didn't do. I think it's more of a case of those guys fouling and getting bad fouls. I mean, reaching, gambling, that sort of thing, instead of moving your feet, being under control, boxing out properly. Because we did a poor job, even on our box outs, we fouling guys that are trying to get offensive rebounds. So I think that was more of us. I don't think that was an indication of what the bench did or didn't do. I just think for your bench guys, guys on the bench for a reason in most cases. So, you're not talking about a guy who's playing 40 minutes sitting on the bench. So those guys are used to playing a role, especially this time of year. When a number presents itself, they get an opportunity. You expect those guys to play and compete, to understand what we're trying to do. But I don't think in most cases you expect a guy to come off the bench and give you 15 or 20 points if that's not his character.
Cuonzo, did you feel like your team didn't adjust to the way that game was being called very well? Because it did seem like it was a pretty tight whistle in terms of some off-the-ball post-up stuff. They were calling a lot of that kind of thing.
I don't know if necessarily adjust. You play the way you are. You move your feet. You play the way you practice all season long. I think, again, when the guys come in and get box out rebounds, you're boxing guys out, and they get angles. I think it was more of us. I don't think you have too many, hand check fouls, as many as I thought we would have. But I just think you got to be able to box out, move your feet. I didn't think our big guys did a great job with boxing, driving those guys back. And our big guys got most of their fouls that way. But you make adjustments according to how the game was being played. But I don't think we had many hand check fouls with guys just reaching, no.
Now, does Tyrone's role change throughout the year, or maybe been redefined a little bit?
No, I think Tyrone is what happened, and just a slight adjustment. When he had that stretch, because he had a stretch, obviously, when we went in games when Jabari went down, he had to really score and make plays for us. Then all of a sudden you get in league play, people identify him, they put 1 or 2 guys hovering around him, 3 guys around him when he gets to the rim. So for us, the best thing was really getting him off the ball as much as possible. So now, because he's coming down the floor, in transition he's tough. He's coming in transition, it's different. But if he's in a half-court offense is set, a lot of times it's tough when he has the ball in his hand. So you get him off the ball, you get him moving. Now he's attacking the rim. We had him post up the last game a little bit. So now the double team he can make the right decision. He can catch and shoot. He has an angle to score the ball where guys are moving. But I just think in coming in the half court when the defense is set, it's hard for him to maneuver because how they build their defense around him. But just trying to move him off the ball to get the ball where he's going in different areas, not in the same spot.
I guess he's talked a lot about being aggressive, staying aggressive. Is there
I think aggressive is aggressive. I just think it's growing and learning, understanding your personnel, your guys around you, where you, in his case, where your shooters are, where your big guys are. And I just think for our bigs continue to get better, because what happens when those guys collapse and those big guys help up, when you dump the ball down, you want production. And I just think that's time, especially in King's case, growing, getting older, getting better, and making those plays. Eventually he'll make those plays. But no, I think Tyrone has done a tremendous job really of seeing, because he was all right hand. He was 90% right hand. Now, so he's making moves going left and right. And it's just a growth within the season for a young man. And also making the plays. Initially, he would have made some shots. He also pass up a shot, make the extra pass, and the other guy makes a play. I think that's how your confidence grows as a team. And again, we expected that guy to score so much for us and do so much. Now he doesn't have to probably take as many shots. Still got to get to the free throw line. Still have to be aggressive and do other things, but it might not be as many shots from a field goal standpoint, but probably more free throws.
Not having Matthews as that extra guy on the perimeter when he had to pass because he couldn't get that lift. Your three-point production was way down from the previous 5 games, and did that force more maybe inside, or how did that change the way you guys offense?
Well, I think what happens in that particular game, now so you don't have certain guys like Jabbar and Jordan on those wings moving, I think it made it a little tough on our big guys. Because now all of a sudden you clear. I thought Dwight had a couple good looks, but I just think it made it tough on our big guys. Because normally when you have Jabari and Jordan raising, now it puts a premium on those guards on another team to really help. Now you help those guys on the perimeter shooting. If you don't help, our big guys are rolling and making plays. And just that other guy right there that can make a shot is always a threat. I just felt the way Jordan was moving. I mean, you'd rather the young man to be healthy than to try to win a game. And that's the most important thing.
Is he to the point where you may not play him?
No, not at all. He's fine. Now, unless we hear something otherwise, but I mean, I think he's fine.
Jabari was particularly effective against Utah with a pull-up jumper, more mid-range than 7 for 3. Is that something you want to keep encouraging him to do?
Well, I've encouraged it from day one. Aggressive is aggressive, but again, it's a matter when he feels it, but it's being consistent with it, being in attack mode. But I think in that particular game, he had to do it, because sometimes I thought he was a little hesitant to take it, but they gave that to him because they pushed up on the wings. And they almost said if you throw it to the big guys, throw it to him. And it presented itself, so he made those shots, and he was aggressive in attacking, especially against the press. Get the ball over the top and attack the rim. And I thought he did that better in the second half.
Stanford obviously is having little struggles lately. Are they the same team to you that looked like that you saw a month ago?
They're a good team. I just think what happens when you get in league play, you play well against certain teams. I think they lost a tough one at home against UCLA. They lost obviously 2 road games against 2 quality teams, but also this last trip for those guys, they without Roscoe out and a guy that can make shots for them, stretch the offense and put pressure on the defense. But it's still a talented team, and you got possibly 2 to 3 first-team all-league guys, that type of talent. Anytime you have singers that play the way they play, and they protect their home court, and they know they got to win games. But I think they're still the same team.
So do they still do the same things even? Well, they didn't have Travis when you put him.
Yes.
So you made a difference, and you already mentioned Allen.
Yes. I think Travis is a big body, big physical presence. Brings energy, brings toughness. I don't know how much he's playing. I watch film, but he's not playing a lot of minutes, but he's very effective. It matters. It's very similar to Jabbar, getting his body back in shape, getting the game speed in his case. But they're a very good team. A very good team. When you have that type of experience and they've been together, they still executing their offense. Yeah.
In what way has Kravish maybe had to adjust his role this year?
Well, I think for us being around the rim more, I think that's the biggest key. And I think David is, as you watch film on him, David is more effective with another big guy, where he doesn't have to do the banging around the rim and do those sorts of things. And unfortunately for us, King is young. And that's why we did in the preseason. We had Christian, in most cases, guarding the other team's center, so David can play on the perimeter and make plays. But it is what it is, and the adjustments we have to make in order for us to be successful. I think that's the biggest key, just not having that other traditional big guy that can carry that load around the rim so he can guard that other 4 guy and he can get off and block shots on plays and that sort of thing.
So is he really more of like a 4?
Yes.
Like a mid-range?
Yes. But again, he has great skill around the rim. But I think he'd rather face up and make plays, post up off the block and walk you down. Yeah.
Is it hard to
Well, I think in this case it is what it is. I mean, I don't think there are a lot of options, for your team. And I don't think it's hard. I think as a ball player, you're playing, you make adjustments as you go. And the bottom line, the rim is still the same. Put the ball in the rim and stop the other team from scoring. That's how I look at it. I mean, it's not like he's been a point guard now. He has adjusted to being a center. He's been big, all his career.
Cuonzo, going back to Stanford, what are the challenges of handling Jason Randall?
Well, I thought he shot the ball extremely well, and I watched the game again. He made big-time shots in transition off the ball screen. He made big plays. Thought he played really well. I thought all three of the seniors played exceptionally well, but I thought he did just make some big shots. I mean, deep threes. And it's easier said than get him out of his comfort zone because he shoots pull-up threes. He shoots them from deep. You have to, once you cross half court, you have to have a presence. And you have to make him work for shots. I don't think we did a very good job of making him work for shots outside of those deep threes. And you got to challenge him. You got to box him out. You got to limit his touches. Stay aggressive. When you switch your ball screens, you got to be up. You got to be aggressive. Don't allow him to comfort. He's playing at home. He's a senior. He's going to protect his home court, do everything in his power to get that done. And we just got to make it hard for him. And I thought we did a solid job, but not a great job.
How much of a matchup problem is nasty?
Well, I think that's the case for any team in this league, in my opinion, watching him play. But but him, I applaud his success because you watch a young man from the time he was a youngster up until now, his growth as a basketball player. So for me, I enjoyed that. He competes, he battles, he does a great job of getting the other team, big guys, in foul trouble. He makes you work on both ends of the floor, and he does an exceptional job of defending without fouling. And that's a hard thing to do in the post.